Hi guys, this is your girl Lishajoya. Thank you for coming to this YouTube video. It is so early in the morning. Um, you guys know that I just came back from vacation, or you may not have known, but I was on vacation. I only take vacation once a year, and I never call off work. I never call off work. Even when I'm sick, I don't call off work. If I have a doctor's appointment or if I have something else I gotta do, I find a way on my day off to figure it out how I'm gonna do that appointment or thing I need to do. But anyways, things at my work have gotten really weird at my job. I guess it took me to have a vacation, take a step back, to take a look and really see how things are at my job. I like my job like 85% of the time, but there's that 15 or so percent where I don't really like my job. And it's not even the customers, it's not the work in general, it's my coworkers. Yeah. I had to figure this out on my vacation because when you're directly in a situation, it is very difficult to see what the problem is. If you're the problem or somebody else's problem, or if there's a mix of the problem between you and something else, you know what I mean? So I had to take some time while I was on vacation to figure it out. Well, a couple of days ago was the last day of one of my coworkers, and I made her some tamales. And their eyes look dead. I'm not talking busy and stressed out. I'm not talking about that type or focusing on making orders or whatever. They look like they were dead in the eyes. And it makes me wonder if I ever looked dead in the eyes. And if other customers have ever seen that and it throws them off. You know what I mean? You don't want to go to a place or a restaurant where people look dead in the eyes. That's going to make them think that they don't view you or they don't value you or they're not going to make your order correct because they're dead in the eyes. And hello, Astral. How you doing? Welcome to the chat. Anyway, so I had this vacation, so I had some time to reset. Like I said, I don't call off work. I only go on vacation once a year. I finally got my vacation. Starting last year was my first time I had vacation. I've been with this company almost 4 years. So imagine working for over 2 years with uh no vacation, no time off. Mind you, I've never called off. I've gone to work sick. I've gone to work not well. I mean, I've gone to work with a fever. Um, and I was told that I had to bring a medical report, otherwise I was gonna get fired every time. So, of course, I can never call off to, you know, be sick. You can go to work with COVID for all they wanted. Okay? I said the word. Okay? And hello, Mr. Litter. Sorry, I don't got my glasses on. Mr. Utter and Aid. How you doing? Everybody in the chat, sorry. I don't got my glasses on. It's first thing in the morning. So after this vacation, I got a chance to see people at my own job dead in the eyes. And it just made me evaluate myself more. Was I dead in the eyes as well? Was I also dead? And it makes me wonder, if I'm dead in the eyes working at my job, why am I at this job? You know what I mean? It makes me trying to self-evaluate. And lately, they've been changing my hours. I'm one of the few of the managers that has open availability. So maybe they can change my schedule at any time without warning. So 1 week I could work 12 to 7. Next week I could be opening all week long. Next week I could be closing all week long. Or I could be a mix of opening and closing and being mid shift. You know what I mean? I could be all of the above. without notice, and I'd have to adapt. And it's been really hard on me some days to do that. Well, lately, not really lately, ever since we got the new general manager, um, I don't think she's really cared for me because she, like, when I first came back from vacation, she was our general manager. And, um, you know, I gave myself 6 months to a year to give her a chance. You know what I mean? Because when you get a new manager, um, hello Ken, thank you for the compliment. Hello Carlos, hello Ezra, how y'all doing? When you get a new boss, you it takes time to get a rapport or the way that you guys get along together. Anyway, um, so I was trying to give her, a chance, trying to get to know her and get acquainted with her, figure out what her standards are versus my old general manager standards were, and just trying to go from there. You know what I mean? Well, anyways, the old general manager that I used to have, his wife was also a general manager at a sister location. And I don't think the wife ever really liked me because her very own husband favored me because, he deemed me as a good worker. And maybe she got jealous and insecure. I don't know. Anyway, I don't understand jealous people. I don't understand insecure people. I just don't understand them. I'm just gonna be honest. I just don't understand it. I don't understand catty people either. I just don't. I just go to work, go home, and be with my husband. All right, and my animals and my property. You know what I mean? I just go home and mind my own business. I just don't be involved in these little politics. In the job in the workplace. I just go in and get out. um. Anyways, but lately with the new general manager, I mean, I thought some days I feel like I can go to her and things are great. And there's times where I feel like I can't. I feel like she favors some other people and they call her mommy and and she keeps calling her baby back, you know what I mean? But treats everybody else like they're servants and they're substandard. Well, we have this other manager. I mean, her name starts with A, and she's a bit bossy. You know what I mean? But I have a level of respect for her, okay? I respect people who are direct people. I don't care, and I just don't care. You know what I mean? Because then your words are what they really are. You know what I mean? Lisha, I need you to help me with this. Come over here and, do this, do this, do that. On occasion, what I mean, you need to be guided. I mean, even as another fellow manager, you do need to be guided. Or you have another manager that knows more than you. There's nothing wrong with learning, or it's nothing wrong with adhering to what they say, because then you might learn something new. You mean you can't be too prideful, even if you are a manager, to you know think that you know everything when you don't. Because you're always learning no matter what field you're in. You could be a trash collector and still be learning something new about your own job. You could be, a gardener and still learning something new about your job. You know what I mean? Possibilities are endless. You're always learning something new. And that is something beautiful about life. You're always learning something new. Sorry, it's first thing in the morning. I haven't had my coffee yet. I just had this thought. Okay. Sorry, it's just a bit this morning. So, like I said, I had this almost week off, and it was great. I cooked every day. I got a lot of my house cleaning done. Of course, I have to wash the walls before I can paint them, of course. So washing the walls was a pain in the butt. Washing windows was a pain in the butt. Like spring cleaning in the fall is a pain in the butt because it's colder and stuff. Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this. Sorry, without coffee and streaming is interesting. So lately, especially every Wednesday, this manager A, I'm not doing my normal manager job. Okay? I feel like I'm doing a demoted job, if you know what I'm saying. Like instead of doing the um job of like counting inventory or dropping our food and all this other fun stuff or expediting or anything else, I'm doing the basic B job. I'm cleaning the lobby, cleaning the bathroom, stocking stuff, helping customers up front. You know what I mean? I'm doing what the greeter normally does on Wednesdays. And I feel like it's a fun job, mind you. But it's just the way that they treat you gets me and throws me through the loop. Treat you like a servant and not like a coworker, not like a colleague or an equal. Not even with any sort of respect. So what happened to me yesterday, it's been making me mad. Hold on. No, Astral, I'm not above all that. It's just the way that I'm treated when I'm doing those jobs. I don't mind cleaning a toilet. I don't mind cleaning a trash can or taking out trash because I do that normally every time anyway. It's just the way I'm treated when I have to do those remedial tasks. That's what gets me. So Miss A was talking to my boss about how I didn't come and help a customer right away. I have I have a low hum tinnitus. I have a really hard time hearing some sounds. I'm gonna be honest. Um, I had lightning almost strike me when I was younger, and ever since then, the flash affected my vision, and the sound affected my hearing quite a bit. So I've had hearing problems for a while. Hello, Johnny. And I don't hear every sound. So Miss A was calling me to help a guest, but I was doing something. I was already doing something else, and I was kind of far away, so I couldn't really hear anything. And I only heard her apparently the second time. Well, my boss pulls me off to the side after I got done helping the guests, saying that I need to be jumping at A's call, basically. And I have no problem helping guests. It's the bread and butter of what we do in our restaurant. Okay, I have no problem with um, doing like cleaning the bathrooms or taking out trash or tables or stocking sauces, straws or forks or spoons or cleaning the soda bar or whatever it is. I have no problem with that. I have a problem with how I'm treated or talked to or talked down to when I am doing the job. I try to just swallow it and just go, okay, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, stuff like that. But then, whenever your boss, after the fact, after it's all said and done, goes in behind you, behind everything, says, basically, A was telling my boss, she's not listening to me. And I'm like, it's only the second time, apparently. And they all know I have this issue with my hearing. They all know I have issues with it. Like I said, I do not hear low hum. I have a very low hum tinnitus, and it affects me mainly in this ear. Okay, um, I just can't help it, and it's been a problem. You know what I mean? Where I don't even hear when I have someone's in my ear and ordering, and I'm taking an order. I don't hear some of the low sounds that they make when they make it and they're placing the order. I just don't. It's just weird. I can't explain it. It's like it's horrible, and I feel bad about it. But anyways, so this it's just the way that these people are treating me. It gets to me. I understand things have to be done. We're working in a restaurant. They got to be snappy. You know what I mean? I always try to say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Okay, I'm on it. Oh, I need this. Okay, I'm on it. And I don't stop and I go right away and get it. I don't talk back. I don't do any of those type of things. And I go at their beck and call. But lately it's the way that I've been treated. I've been treated like I've been a dog or like a slave, a disrespected slave. You know what I mean? And then I'm being told on or ratted on behind my back instead of telling me they have a freaking problem with me to my face. I have a big problem with people when they have a problem, but they don't want to be an adult to tell me to my face when they got a problem. They go and they tell my boss, "Oh, I have a problem." I had no idea there were problems. They didn't come to me first. I would have been like, "Okay, how can we fix this?" I would have looked deep within inside myself and I would have said, okay, how am I messing up first? And I would have backed up. Then I would have gone, oh, okay, maybe I did mess up there. Like when my boss took me outside yesterday, I didn't hear Miss A the first time. And I did acknowledge that to my boss. I did admit that. I did not, I have this low hum tinnitus. It's horrible some days, especially when you're wearing a headset. It's just like it counters, it makes it worse. Like it aggravates it or something. I don't know what to say. So, but lately they've been taking away my manager task, but giving me the manager title. So I was like, okay, so you're giving me the manager task. You're giving me the manager task, then you're flipping it on me. One minute I'm the goat, so to speak, and the next minute I'm a manager. You know what I mean? I just don't understand. I'm not trying to like play the victim or anything like that. I'm just trying to understand. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I have no problem being a goat in the kitchen. I have no problem. You know what I mean? Drop this, do this, do this, do this, do that. Because if you're on the line, you can't just get up every time to go and get stuff for your line. You need someone else that's not on the line to grab it for you. Anyway, so yesterday something happened to me. I was on the line and we had one of our inspectors come in. Not like not like more like one of our pest inspectors. They come in and they offered me a job. I haven't had a raise in 2 years. Like I said, I've never missed a job. I mean, I've never called off work. I've been late a crap ton of times. I'll tell you that. I've been late a crap ton, okay? But I've never called off work. And, but I've never had a raise. But there's people who are new who are getting paid more than me. And they just started. And it rubs me the wrong way. It's like putting salt in a wound. And then you guys know I got severely burned a couple weeks ago. And you also know that at this job, my previous general manager did not properly train me on a lot of things. So even I've been at this job for 4 years almost, I'm still learning my job all over again. I have to undo how many years, and I have to start all over again and act like I'm a new manager and take the time to undo everything I've ever learned and start over. It's like bouncing back from ground zero, okay? So I burned myself really bad. I never showed you the burn, but last time I had it wrapped up. This is, how do I show you this? See this right here? See my wrist? That is my burn. I had 2nd-degree burns, right? Yeah, let's see if it shows you better. Hold on. Does this work? Hold on. Let's see how I can flip my camera around. I don't think it let me do it live. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, do you see it? That is 2nd-degree burn. It's all the way around. It looks like I've been cord whiplashed. And probably gonna have a scar, and it itches constantly itches. This is healing. Um, and my boss tells me yesterday I should have had the emergency people come in, and then also I should have written you up. That's another thing they've been dangling in front of my face is the threat of being written up. And they know I'm on my last write up. Otherwise I'm gonna get fired. And I'm like, I'm on my last write up, but every time they dangle something to write me up, they're like finding little things to try to write me up over. This was a freaking accident, okay? Are you gonna penalize me over an accident? It's not like, oh, I'm gonna harm myself today. Oh, I'm gonna burn myself with 200 and something degree black beans. Oh yeah, and with gloves on. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get penalized for an accident. That's what this basically told me. That pissed me off in itself. To be penalized over a freaking accident. That was not, I wasn't going to go, ooh, let's sue the company. Let's hurt myself and sue the company. No. I I'm the only one dealing with my own burn, okay? And it still hurts and burns even a few weeks later, okay? I have second degree burns, even some third degree right over there. And I still came to work hurting and burning. I even covered it up myself and even helped on the line and still did my job but acted like it never freaking happened, even though I was in pain. And now I'm gonna get written up for an accident. Like this little dangling little like write-ups is just insane. It is very much insane. It's stupid in my opinion. Always writing me up. If they hate me that much, why don't you just demote me? Just freaking demote me. Period. Why keep me on as a manager and demote me? Period. Why are you threatening me? Then I can act like this basic B person that you're treating me as. You're treating me like and then they give me a responsibility and they take the responsibility away. What am I good as a manager then if you're not going to give me the full responsibility? I don't get it. It's like they give and then they give my shifts to other people for no reason. It's ridiculous. So we had one of the bug inspectors come in and he offered me a job. And then he told my boss. He didn't tell her who he offered the new job to, but he offered it to me. And guess what? It is between $2 and $4 an hour more per hour starting, and I get a guaranteed 40 hours a week. And I get a company vehicle, plus I get training in a different place, plus I get full everything paid for my training. Even if I have to go to a different state to go get my training, the hotel, the flight, everything like that is all paid training, and I get that done. They pay for that. So guess what? I'm thinking about jumping on it. He said, work on your resume. And he told me all the different things I needed to do. And he picked me. Because he was in the restaurant business himself for several years. And yeah, and he can see it. So maybe I look dead in the eyes. You know what I mean? Maybe I look like I was over it. Maybe he sensed it. And maybe he want to give me an opportunity. Maybe he feels like I can be a good pest inspector. It'd be kind of funny if I got the job and I went back to my job to be their inspector. That'd be funny. Anyway, I was just thinking about that. So now I have to work on my resume for the first time in 20 or 30 years. I started working on it a couple of months ago. And then I started going through, why do I want to quit my manager job? And lately I've been looking at the fact that, after I came back from my vacation, that, people were dead in the eyes. It made me, I was thinking maybe I'm also dead in the eyes and I don't even know it. So I'm thinking about, why am I at a job where I may be looking dead in the eyes? Where I'm feeling like I'm always angry. Every time I talk about my job, I feel like I'm always ranting about it instead of praising it. I was looking at my YouTube videos, and most of them are talking about how I'm frustrated in some sort or the other. Hello, Sebasami. How are you doing? So, like I said, I was going back into my own YouTube videos and self re-evaluating myself. I do that a lot. I'll go back to my own videos. I go back to a certain time in my life, and I go and I review it, and I go back and recheck how I'm feeling, because I would never, ever, ever do that. I would always think that I was right, and that the world revolved around me. And as I'm getting older, I know that's not true. I'm not delusional. And I know that I have my own personal problems and I have my own things I need to work on. But sometimes when you document things, you can go back and reflect. And that's exactly what I've been doing. And most of my videos has been some form of frustration with my job. And it makes me wonder, why am I at this job? I don't feel like I can go to my boss and tell her these things, because she shares what I say to people. I've seen her literally share a text I sent to her. It was just meant only for her. She shared it with manager with the starting name of A, because I heard them talking about it. And it was the only thing I only told my manager, my boss. Hello, Sabatoy. I already said hi to you already. um, I was just yeah, I don't feel like I could talk to my boss because it's shared. And then not only does she share it, but then she shares other people's texts, and I accidentally overhear it sometimes my own self. So it makes me not even trust my own boss with being able to talk to her about things. So I've been trying to go to her boss, but last time I did that, my own boss got mad at me because I went to her boss. Because my boss yelled at me while I was in the drive-through while I was helping a guest. She literally called me on the phone just to yell at me on the phone. I haven't forgotten that. And she made me cry because I was so angry. Not because I was sad, not because I was broken down, because I was pissed off. And when I get to the point where I start crying because I'm angry, it's over. It's over. So, like I said, this new person that had offered me the job yesterday, I'm seriously considering it. Then yesterday, my coworkers saw me door dashing. I'm door dashing again, by the way, because after my boss found out that someone got offered a job, she got pissed off and told another manager to let me go early. I was supposed to get off at 7. You know what time I was told to go? Between 5:15. So an hour and 45 minutes I lost of work because my boss got in her feelings. And that's the thing I've been playing, because my boss has been getting in her feelings. I lose hours because she's getting into her feelings. You know, or she stays into one of the other managers she considers like a daughter come in, and then she ends up uh then she'll leave. Then she'll leave. It's so frustrating. So yeah, I lost an hour and 45 minutes yesterday because my boss got in her feelings because she found out one of her employees had gotten a offer of a job that was better paying than the one that's offered. She got in her feelings, and I was told to be let go early. And it's aggravating, it's frustrating. You know what I mean? To lose hours, and it's been happening consistently. I also know this is the season to lose hours because sales are down, labor's high, blah 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 blah. Okay? You have to save money, save hours. It's a business, okay? It's nothing personal. I get it. But yesterday, it was personal. It was personal. To lose almost 2 hours into a 6.5 hour shift only to work 6.5 hours ish. I mean, 4.5 hours. My apologies. It's not even worth to put the uniform on. You know what I'm saying? If you're only going to come into work for only 4 hours, it's not worth putting on the uniform. That's just my opinion. It's just, I don't, like I said, I don't feel like I can go to my boss. I don't feel like I talk to her because she shares texts to everybody else. You know, I've seen her do, if say for example, I had a text, it stays private, but she got pissed off when I told one of my coworkers what she said to me. But yet she shares all my stuff with everybody else. It's like, where's the logic? You don't want someone to share your text, but you're going to share theirs? What? And then get up in your feelings because someone was offered a better job? You know, why are you up in your feelings for? Why? I've been at this job for 4 years, and my previous general manager never did that crap. He'll cuss you out. He'll cuss you out in the manager's chat, and it'd be over with it. All you had to say was yes, sir, and it was over with. That's it. But this one's the whole grudges type, and I don't like it. This is what I wanted with my boss. I wanted to be close. I wanted to give her the respect because I know to get to her position is rough. I know that she's gone through a lot to get to where she's at because I already know what I'm going through. So, I mean, I try to give her as much respect as possible, but if this level of respect isn't given back, I need to find another job. So like I said, I'm working on my resume for the first time in many years, almost 3 decades. I haven't worked on my resume since I was in my 20s. So now I have to go back in and rework a resume just to get between almost $3 to almost $5 more per hour. And I get a guaranteed 40 hours a week with even overtime. And like I said, it'd be nice not to smell like food all the time. It'd be nice. But at the same time, I like my job most of the days. If I was just given the same amount of respect, I understand we get on each other's nerves. It's the food industry, okay? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's not the same as a corporate or like a an office job, okay? It's not the same, okay? Where people can just sit down and be in their little, suits and stuff like that and not be so stressed out about stuff. But in the restaurant business, it's always go, 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 go. You know what I mean? And you have to work with a team and be truly in communication. But if you feel like you can't communicate, or if they're taking away your job position, or they're taking your job responsibilities away from you at whim, one minute you're the goat and you are, helping customers doing tables and stuff, and next minute they want you to come back and be a manager all of a sudden. Like they like make you try to switch the switch on back and forth. It's like switching on a light, you know, on and off, on and off, on and off. It gets disorienting after a while. You know what I'm saying? It gets disorienting and gets frustrating. It's just like, and then but this my boss likes to believe other managers above other managers instead of taking the time to talk to the managers and say, hey, this is what's going on, and have both the managers, what I mean, the manager that ratted on person and the person's being ratted on together, and then find a solution privately instead of making it open season so everybody's got to know there's a problem. You know what I mean? There's no sense of privacy. There's no sense of trust. And as I'm at the point, it's just like, if you can't trust your boss, you know what I mean? Or your boss can't trust you, something's got to give in either direction. Something has got to give. So, like I said, I've been working on my resume. And much as it hurts, because I normally love being in the restaurant business. I normally love it. I love this company, actually. Actually, I take that back. I love the company I work for. I love them. I love the company. If I can be transferred to another one of these places, I think I would never consider the other job that pays more per hour. Maybe I just need a new work environment, new people, you know what I mean? Like a clean slate. Then that way I can get some more pep in my step all over again. Maybe I'm dead in the eyes, like I saw my other coworkers, you know? And that's the other thing that gets me. My other coworkers, I get all this favoritism, can call out and not get demonized or penalized. But if I ask for my vacation, she denies my vacation. And then when you tell her and then she's like, "Oh, I didn't put it in my calendar." And then all of a sudden you have to fight to get your own vacation that you've only take once a year. I don't know. It's all this stuff. So this is just making it more and more of a case just to find another job. Maybe I might actually truly like this job. Maybe this might be the job that won't make me complain on YouTube over. You know what I mean? Just maybe the problem is me. You know what I mean? It could be the case. And if that's the case, I don't need to be there, right? I need to find something else, you know? But there's also another problem I've noticed. Like people, okay, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm gonna try. I could be not there and things could be running smoothly, right? And then I could be on shift all over again, and then have no complaints, everything going good. Then all of a sudden, even after I'm gone and it's no longer my shift, all of a sudden there'll be complaints all over again. Sometimes people try to make it seem like that you are the reason why they have problems and not like reflect on themselves. And I can understand because, I've been there. I've done that. I've, not fully reflected on myself and not realized that I was in the wrong some days, and that, I thought that everybody else was a problem and it wasn't me. I remember those days. So this is why I go and I look through my YouTube channel and I self-reflect all the time. I go, am I the problem? That's the first thing I look for. Am I the problem? I never used to do that. And now I'm like seeing different little fractures and different things, where even at work, it's just like, okay, I'll just admit I'm wrong, even when I'm not wrong. Maybe we'll shut them up. It's like putting a pacifier in their mouth. Even if you're not wrong and they're the one wrong, I just apologize, swallow the pill, and go on with my day. I just try not to take things personally anymore. But yesterday was was they know I have a low hum tinnitus. They know I have this hearing problem. And I don't always hear everybody all the time. Even if you're in my ear in the headset, I just don't hear you. Imagine someone even further away trying to call me. You know what I mean? So like I said, they took almost 2 hours of my job thing yesterday. I only have 35 hours. That's not enough to really survive. Okay. And then they took 2 away. So that's 33 hours. Still not enough to survive. So I shocked them yesterday when I started door dashing again. And that's exactly why I'm up earlier this morning. I'm brewing coffee and I'm going to be getting up and doing some door dashing because apparently they're going to take my hours away. I'm going to have to get them back one way or the other. And if I can make more money door dashing than I do at my own job, I just may end up quitting my job and doing door dashing more full time. Period. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of different little things. Plus, I'm just so sick and tired of all being scrutinized over little things. And they're always jumping at managers A beck and call, like what she wants. They treating her like she's the boss and not like my boss is the boss. And my boss jumps through hoops for her. Oh, I don't want to lose her. I can't do this job without her. But yet she's the general manager? I don't know. I don't get this. I don't get this. So maybe I should just jump ship and be like my adopted little baby brother and jump ship and go to a different location like he did. Maybe he was a smart one. Like I said, I do like the company I work for. I really love the company I work for. I just don't think I like the environment. The environment I'm working in is quite toxic. It's you can't tell your boss things in private because she shares everything with everybody else. I mean, how would you feel if you told her that, I don't know, you had a booger in your nose? You know what I mean? Or you had a nosebleed. And the reason that's the reason why you're late and you're dealing with your nosebleed. She would tell everybody before you came in your personal problem. You know? So it's hard to communicate on even the simplest of things. And you should be able to go to your boss. See, if I was a boss and someone said, hey, I'm going to be late because, I'm on my period, I'm not going to say the whole, hey, Sandra's on her period to everybody. That's the reason why she's late. Just say, Sandra's going to be late. She had something come up. You know what I mean? There's other ways of saying to the rest of your crew when someone else is going to be missing from work. You know what I mean? Or say, for example, you come into work and you're not feeling the greatest. You know what I mean? And I have my own coworkers will say out loud in front of everybody their personal business. Like they've got to share it. Oh, I'm on my period. That's why I'm like this. I'm crabby. I need Dr. Pepper. I need a chocolate. Oh my God, the world's gonna end. I'm getting mad over everything. I'm gonna treat you like shit, but I expect for you to treat me like a princess. That type of stuff. That stuff happens at my job all the time. All the time. And it's getting old, redundant. It's just too much some days. Some days I just shake my head. There's times I walk in the walk-in freezer and I scream. I mean, I scream at the top of my lungs to the point my throat hurts because I get so frustrated. There's days where I just almost just put my keys on the counter and left. And not even clocked out. But I don't believe in just quitting just for the sake of quitting because things get difficult. But if you're being constantly treated like you are substandard or you are a servant, you know what I mean? Yeah, you got to do a job. Yeah, you got to do a job, but it's not the way. It's not like the words. It's just how they're talking to you. Like say for example, it's like talking down at you and not to you. And but then when you return the favor, you're disrespecting them. So yeah, working on a resume. I'm about to go do some door dashing since they took 2 hours of my shift yesterday. So I'm gonna go get it back. Oh, and by the way, when I DoorDash, I went to my own place of work and they are so slow. So freaking slow. I had to go in the app and say, and communicate back and forth to my customers saying I'm so sorry they're being so slow. I had to go in the app and tell the app itself that the order's taking a long time. It was not ready, blah, 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 blah. I had to go in and do so much communication through the app, and I had to keep apologizing on behalf of my own coworkers who are so slow. It just, even I'm not even that slow when I have a DoorDash order. That's priority. Or my Uber Eats orders or my mobile orders. I prioritize those things, and they were so slow. You know? So and so I'm just going, wow. When I'm not there, things are slow. That's how I feel. But then when I'm there, they expect me to go, 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 go. But when I'm not there, it's okay to be slow, 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 slow. I just don't get it. It's I wish my boss would put the same standards on her favorite quote unquote daughter that they hang out with and outside of work, which I think is inappropriate, to be honest. If you're not related really with somebody and you call somebody your work daughter, work son, or whatever, I think it's inappropriate to hang out outside of work and then make it seem like you favor that person, and then it just puts a bad somebody else's mouth, and it makes it feel like you're walking on eggshells every time you come into work. I just don't think it's right. You know, it's a whole lot of stuff. So yeah, I'm working on my resume. Um, so that's to be that today. So door dashing. Then I got 2 days off, so I get to work on that. I get to reflect a little more on this job. I'm gonna review some more of my YouTube videos and go back and just have a little chat with my own self and my husband, and just have a talk with him, because he tends to ground me, put me on ground zero when I feel like I'm about to float up in anger. He tends to bring me back down to this low level and calms me down. And he gets me to realize certain things or certain aspects about myself that are not right. Or he makes me realize that maybe I am in the right, and he tries to talk to me about different things. It's one thing I love about my husband, is that he gets me back to ground zero, and he gets me thinking about the right way of doing things. You know what I mean? So anyways, guys, I have a lot to contemplate. I will be working on my resume. I might, if I could figure out how to go live in DoorDash, I'd probably do that. Some internet spots may freeze, but I'm going to try to do some DoorDashing live. But I got to get cleaned up and coffeeed up, and I need some breakfast, and maybe this might be a better path. You know what I mean? So see you guys on the next video. I'm sorry this one's so long. I'll talk to you later on in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This means I love you in sign language, and we'll see you later.